2026 might be the biggest year ever for Bloober Team. The studio says this will be a very intense communication year, which is basically developer code for we've got a lot of games to show you. And one of those games, Bloober's leadership says it could become a landmark title for the entire company. Today we're breaking down everything we know about Bloober's upcoming projects, including their most ambitious game yet, a mysterious Nintendo exclusive, and the future of Silent Hill. A few years ago, Bloober was mostly known for smaller psychological horror games. Titles like Layers of Fear and The Medium built a reputation for eerie atmosphere and story-driven horror. But things really changed when they worked on the remake of Silent Hill 2. That project pushed the studio into the mainstream spotlight and proved that they could handle a major horror franchise. At the same time, they've been working on their own big sci-fi horror project called Cronos: The New Dawn, which is already a step up in scale compared to their earlier games. Because of that growth, Bloober now has multiple development teams running at the same time, along with publishing arm called Broken Mirror Games. And that structure is what's allowing them to work on several projects simultaneously. The most interesting project right now is something internally called Project H. This game is being developed by the same team behind Cronos: The New Dawn, and it's currently in pre-production. According to Bloober, this is the most ambitious project they ever attempted. But here's the twist. Instead of going bigger purely in budget, the studio wants to reach a much wider audience while keeping the cost under control. They plan to reuse the technology, tools, and production pipelines they built for Cronos: The New Dawn. So the idea is bigger vision, smarter development. And because the team is focusing heavily on Project H, Bloober says there are no plans for a Cronos sequel right now. Next up is something very different, a project called Project M, which is being developed through Broken Mirror Games. This game is reportedly designed as a Nintendo exclusive, built specifically around Nintendo hardware. While nothing is confirmed yet, many people believe it could be targeting the Switch 2 specifically. What makes it interesting is that Bloober says the gameplay is designed around the platform itself, with ideas inspired by multiple classic games. So instead of the traditional horror experience, this one might be more experimental. The project did go through some internal staffing changes during development, but leadership says that they're still very confident in where it's headed. And since Bloober is self-funding the game, they've had the freedom to try things that wouldn't normally fit in a typical publisher-driven project. Bloober isn't stopping there either. The same team behind Silent Hill 2 is now working on a remake of the original Silent Hill. Meanwhile, Layers of Fear 3 is also in development. That project is being co-produced with an external partner so Bloober can keep their internal teams focused on the bigger, more technically demanding games. So when will we actually see all of these games? Well, Bloober says major reveals are expected during the summer showcase season and at Gamescom. Release dates are still unknown, of course, but one thing is clear. 2026 isn't just another year for Bloober Team. It's the year where they fully step into the big leagues. And even if one of these projects lands the way they hope, we might be looking at the studio's next defining horror game.